our Renewable Wednesday with Sir John Rustin and Miss Cynthia King. So this evening, you will actually hear from our CEO of YGE Commercial, Miss Cynthia King herself. She'll give you so many tidbits. Get your pen and paper. Please, let's welcome Miss Cynthia King. I'll mute myself, and Miss King, the floor is yours.
Evening. Glad to see you all. Man, I tell you, I still got the energy from Atlanta. I know you all do. And I'm very excited that we are here tonight to cover some things with you. I told you on that stage that I will be there to keep pushing you guys to do this, because that group that was in Atlanta, you guys are on fire. And I want to continue to keep that fire lit underneath your feet. And so I just want to cover a few things. We're going to talk about the commercial process again. We're going to talk about the intake form. And as a treat, I'm going to introduce to you all our next certification, which all of you all are just going to fall out when you hear this. So let's go again in reference to the commercial processes. Step 1, you talk to the decision makers about the project. You find out if they have funding or need funding. Step 2, you're going to complete the intake form for the project. Step 3, you're going to email that to ygecommercial@gmail.com. Step 4, remember, if it's outside of a municipality, state, government, county, you have to get that NDA signed. You're going to send that also to the commercial department at ygecommercial@gmail.com. Step 5, at that point, when we pull step 1, 2, 3, 4 in, we should be ready now to get with our client in reference to the proposal with pricing. Also, our commercial partners will continue to correspond with your client. We'll always keep you CC'd on the email so that you can keep track of where your deal is going. And then once we get all of the decision ready, guess what? Number 6, the project is going to close. And I use that word from the stage, cha-ching. This is what we're going to do. So keep in mind, your project, you have to follow these steps. Now, one of the steps to let you know and to let me know that you do have a deal, we have to get this intake form filled out correctly. You have the client information on there, full name, company name, phone number, email. You're going to check off the products that they're interested in, whether it's the electric saver, the EV charger, or the 360 solar. And then you're going to let me know what is the location type. What kind of deal is it? Is it multifamily, raw land, manufactured homes, hospital, school? That's very important that you put that information on there. I also want to know, when do they want to get started? Are they looking to do something right away, 30 days out, 6 months out? All of that information, every box in each square needs to be filled out so that I know what's the real story so that I can move you guys forward. I also need to know what's their budget. Now, the budget is very important. I need to know how much money are they going to spend. So when we come back and we get the assessment and all of that, we need to know, are they ready? Do they need funding? Do you need finance? That checkbox, yes or no, needs to be checked off. It's very, very important. And then once we get that intake form filled out properly, again, the 360 solar tower, we heard from Mr. Brian Roth. We heard all about that and how useful that product can be. So now, drum roll, please. We're about to talk about a very special treat, and that's our certification. So let's roll to that next screen, please. Woo-hoo-hoo, what is this? The Millionaire EV RFP Playbook, written by our founder, Mr. John Rustin. Now, keep in mind, January, March, Mr. Rustin spoke briefly about this, and now it has come to fruition. Check that book out. Very exciting. But that certification is going to wrap around that EV RFP. So you guys stay tuned for that. Raise your hands. Let's get ready. And now let's introduce Mr. John Rustin. He has the rest for you tonight.
Can you hear me, Cynthia?
I can.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I mean, our CEO, Ms. King, she has done such a great job in setting up the actual certification for everybody. One thing I want to really stress for the last few months, everyone's been to the meetings in Vegas, the meetings we had there, and everyone who attended the meetings in Atlanta. Everyone who's actually gone through and seen Brian Roth and seen River Brown from Autel, the two platforms we really need to make sure that we send a lot of information to the back office, is the 360 Solar and also the Autel products. A lot of people have come to the meetings looking for certifications, things like that. I want you to understand, with Autel, if you physically study the Autel information we've been giving out since February, this gives you the ability to understand the units themselves. And I want to go through these units really, really briefly today. With Autel, you got to remember, they're a 25-year-old billion-dollar company. And I'm not going to make any announcements about what's going on in the field as far as people's activity, but I want to make this really simple. When you sell a product from the ZenYGE site for residential or commercial,
All right, technical difficulties. Let me get them back on. What happened is when another admin comes into the Zoom, it kicks all the admins out. So I hope you're hearing me. Just a moment, please.
Recording stopped.
No, we don't have the slide yet. I know where I dropped off. So we're talking about Autel. And one thing I don't know if our people are stressing is that when someone buys a $2,700 home unit from us, that does include a basic wall install. Now, this is where people are like, well, I didn't really know that. Well, we've been saying this since we put the sites together, even back in the day. Because remember, we do not sell EV chargers. We sell packages that gives the customer the ability to know that even if they have to call someone from Angie's List on a $2,700 home unit, we still include like a $300, $400 credit to put it on their wall. So again, remember, if someone says to you, why would I buy from you? Always remember, the residential and the commercial, please remember this, it's only the wall install. It is not if they don't have the right circuit panel or they need wiring and all that, we don't do that. We can install it for them, but we cannot touch the panels and we don't do wiring. So even if they get a regular electrician, we basically want to make sure that if someone says, well, I don't want to have, I want this product for $2,700, just go to Angie's List. We know how much it costs to put a home unit on a wall. It's not much, a couple $100. So again, remember, when you offer someone a home unit or a $4,997 commercial unit, it gives it basic install. If it's over $300, we'll send them a credit for it, but it does include install in their packaging. And the biggest benefit is that, most homes don't have EV cars, but they're going to have to in the future. The other thing, as we've talked in the past, if you're a real estate agent, this is a perfect product to offer to someone who is in the process of listing their home, or if you make a good commission, you may want to give them an EV charging unit for free. So again, always remember, we sell a package that includes a basic install, not a complete install, not tearing out a wall panel, any of that. That's what makes your opportunity more valuable than someone buying these units at the store, no one explaining to them how to get it installed, and at least they have you long-term as the person who sold it to them. So with Autel, it's very important to realize it's the best product on the market, and you've got the best opportunity to promote it to home users, real estate agents. I mean, some of you are doing great. I mean, literally, I know for a fact that some of you have deals on the table that, you may have 50 to 100 of these ready to sell. Miss King's department has been supporting a lot of our people working. I've seen how big some of y'all's deals are. So again, if you look at this one on the Elite, this is one of my favorite things. Look at the difference to where the arm unit is. So you've got one that's on the side, and then you've got one that's actually here. This is where you know it's a commercial unit, not a home unit. Think about this. This unit, $4,000, basic install. And when they get onto the ZenYGE platform, when we activate them on the network, I want you to think about what I'm going to say, because I really don't think you understand how big your opportunity is. If you sold this to me and you put me on the Zen delivery product, when this product is put on the grid, do you realize it's ZenYGE's network that we provide the monitoring, the 24 and the 365-day coverage to make sure this unit's up? Plus, the owner of the restaurant will be contacted by us once they're on our network. They can set their own fees. All they have to do is send us an email or we call them. Once you sell a commercial unit, think about this. This is like owning an ATM machine. If you're not marketing this, think about it. If we go back 40 years ago and you say to someone that owns a restaurant, hey, I'm going to put something in your location called an ATM machine, they would look at you funny too. But this is actually the same opportunity, because think of it from a business point of view. If you own an ATM machine and you get the transaction fees because you own it, well, if you own an EV charger, you get the transaction fees when people charge their car. But you're ahead of the game. No one in this industry is promoting a commercial unit that pays cash daily back to the person who bought it. Like an ATM machine, it's the gift that keeps giving. So when you think about this in your business model, and we said this at the event, sometimes our partners know how good the Autel technology is, but you may not be thinking about how good the business will be for a person who buys this from you. I mean, if you sell a pizza one time, you only get paid on it one time. If you own a restaurant and you install a commercial EV charge in front of your location, you do get tax credits too. So think about it. If I sell 100 pizzas, I'm never going to get a rebate check from the federal government. If I sell 1,000 pizzas, I don't get carbon credits every quarter from the U.S. government. This is a product that only you get paid on the amount per hour that you charge for a car. You get your tax incentives for the install, and you can get carbon credits every quarter in most states for the life of you using it. So what does that really mean? I want to touch on this. This is why it's so important for you to get with Ms. King's department, get certified on things that, look, if you've already been to a bunch of our meetings, you don't need to be certified on Autel. You don't need to be certified on Brian's 360 Solar. You don't need to be certified on EV, Energy Saver. But what you do need to understand, this is a product on your website today that when your client buys it and they hook a car to it, they're reducing carbon emissions from the air. The federal government pays them every quarter based on us sending them their report to turn into the Department of Energy. I mean, you think about what I just said. If you haven't sold one of these and you haven't even studied it, what product can you sell to someone other than our Energy Saver that pays a buyer in perpetuity for reducing the amount of carbon going in the air? I'm serious. You should be as excited as a kid with a MasterCard or a Visa card going to Toys R Us with no parents around. This will make, there's no income guarantee, but I'm saying to you, this is a very powerful thing when you can do basic install for free. You can have that location get carbon credits every quarter that they can cash out for cash. I mean, what other product can you offer in our industry where your customer buys it one time and get paid for the life of his or her business? That's why you really need to understand you've got the greatest opportunity in the world, because here's the bottom line. By 2030, 35, 100 million vehicles have to be replaced, and they have to all be electric. So, again, we can't emphasize enough how big a $43 trillion industry is that you're in. Okay, fine. Some people are like, well, you know, whatever. No, you got to understand. This right here is a good example of the Ford Opel network. Look, Autel did so well that the technology that they're using on the network is a white label of Autel. I mean, going back to my point, Autel is 26 years old, multi-billion-dollar company. They just started shipping the EV chargers September, October of last year. We're one of the very first companies on the planet Earth to resell for them. And we're getting ready, I'm telling you, in the next 30 days, because we have a quota we have to hit, right? If everything goes the way it's been going in the office the last 2 days, we'll hit our quota this week for 2 years because of people out in the field who understand how valuable their opportunity is. And this is the app. Now, it's very interesting because what we're going to do next week, we want everybody to look in their email. So now that we've got the YGE network working, we can take all of the members in ZenYGE, push one button, so look for it next week, push one button, all of you get logged into the app instantly on the Autel app. Because why? If you walk into a restaurant and you show an owner the Autel app on your phone, this should be easy for you to be able to offer the ZenYGE delivery service. This should be easy to say, look, in our network, we've got 200,000 people. In our network, we've got 100,000 people. So the restaurant owner is going, oh, wow. So what you're telling them is if you buy your EV unit from us, these are the potential customers, can't guarantee. These are potential customers for your location. What is easier? Autel having all the people register through their app that you represent, you're in a pizza location, and you're showing on the app how many users have downloaded it. And if you buy an EV charger from me, all these users on the network, because you also can advertise on the app, which we're not going to get into today. So the thing about the unit when you buy it, as a restaurant, we have a warranty. In fact, we had a big call today in the office, and someone was asking if they buy, 100 units, who's going to cover the warranty. In fact, Miss Rustin did so well in Hawaii. Got to give her a hand. She closed a deal in Hawaii today that is a conversion of a gas station. So, again, as founders, we're out in the field working. We ain't sitting around telling you what to do and not doing it ourselves. Are you kidding me? This is too big for all of us. So, again, the warranty comes from Autel. The warranty is set on the network from 2 to 5 years. But here's the cool part. What does it say right there? Technical training. That's for the restaurant owner or for any business that wants to use our platform. Even if we have Autel say, this is really cool. Autel will train our customers once we ship their equipment on a commercial side. So again, if you haven't studied Autel and what we are doing as a business, I want you to look at this screen right here. Super, super important. Energy overview. Now think about charging stations. When you think about this, you got 9,000 charging stations out there, right? And look, by 2030, 2035, everybody's got to have an EV car. So I want you to think about Autel's been around for 25 plus years. They are legitimately installed their software and what they sell on the site, the parent site, in over 3.5 million locations on the earth. So I'm telling you right now, 20 years, the experience, what Autel has, it blows everything away. Well, let's talk about my favorite product, okay? I'm kind of partial to this one. We were at the mall, opening up some situations at the mall, and there's a older couple. They were walking by, and they looked at the new store we opened. They said, that's another one of those old energy drinks. And I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I said, excuse me, sir, ma'am. No, it's not an energy drink. We're helping people save their electric bill or save money on their electric bill every month. So the older gentleman says, well, how does that work? I said, could you imagine having something as small as your cell phone, you plug it in the wall of your house, you set it, forget it, 30 days later in your billing cycle, your electric bill goes down by 30, 40%. I love what the man says. Sounds like a gimmick. And so here's the good thing about our product. It works. And in 30 days, if we don't save the amount of money we promised, send it back in the box. In fact, I'm going to tell you, Ms. Johnson's doing a great job talking to people about this product. And I'm telling you, the utility bills, like, you know, when we were at the event a week or two ago, I mean, people going from, you know, $80 a month down to $20 a month. People going from $315 a month down to $265. I mean, what would you do with an extra $50, $60 a month? This is a good example of a home in Hawaii. Y'all know that Hawaii, I know it's on fire right now. We've got some issues that we're praying about. But this year, they got hit with a 39% increase in their utility bill. And I want y'all to think about what I'm going to say. I'm not being mean. I'm just keeping it real. How could you talk to your neighbor if you're in this business if you haven't talked to them about saving electricity for them? How could you go to church, sit by somebody on Sunday, and not say, hey, look, you know, as a fellow brother or sister, well, how could you go to synagogue? How could you go to a temple? How could you be in this business and let people keep getting ripped off by these high electric bills? Here's the thing I know. I have not seen one publicly traded utility company CEO not get a bonus every year, and yet you're financing that, and this product right now is proven. Think about the business side. Can't guarantee income. So what if you did sell 10 units a day? See, outside of the sales, you're also helping 10 people save money. Well, what if you could make an extra $890 a week by talking about your business as a partner? What if you basically make $3,500 a month? Look, if you associate with people already, why not? In 12 months, let me give you a cheat real quick, because I want you to think about what I'm going to say. If I gave you a $42,000 check right now, we're sending next week. Just gave you the cashier's check too, so it's real. So I gave you a $42,000 cashier's check, and I asked you to walk a mile backwards. Would you do it? Now I want you to think about something. What's harder, walking a mile backwards or talking to 10 people a day? See, again, the effort you put in, remember I said, if you lie, don't make you cry, you tell them a lie. And here you are with a product. You see people every day, and you have people out there who look, it's called inflation. Inflation is when a tomato costs as much as a gallon of milk 10 years ago. I said a tomato. Now, if you're from the country, you just say a mater. But bottom line is, this can save people money to put towards food for their children. You haven't seen all the global warming issue with floods, hurricanes, lightning strikes, tornadoes, folks just being washed out? I mean, this right here may not be something exciting for you. I don't know anybody who pays an electric bill that I have not talked to about this. I don't know anybody who is going to ask me, well, John, is there any money in this? Yeah, there's money in it. We got what's called a compensation plan. Well, okay, well, John, hold up now. You said you save me money. Well, basically, buy your product. Or here's an even better situation. Test it yourself. Sign up in the business for free. I'm going to give you a link. I want you to just think about the home saver for a minute. If you had 10 people on your team that do the same thing on the first level, they have 10 people on the second. You know that's 100 people. If you have the same thing the second level does, get 10 people, you know that's 1,000 people. You know, if the third level say, hey, wait a minute, we don't do the same. If 1,000 people are for 10, that's 10,000. Now, let's just stop right there. If the fourth level get crazy, do the same. That's 100,000. That's 111,000 people. Now, I know everybody can't do that, but here's the question. What if you only did 10 a day? I don't think someone making an extra $42,000, possibly because it's not income guaranteed, is going to hurt your feelings. But see, here's the thing about a comp plan. If you're not passionate about helping people, the comp plan has no value. Because here's the thing. You got to care about people to make money in this industry. You're solving a problem. Do you really think people in Hawaii are excited about paying 35% or 39% extra on their utility bill? But here's what y'all want to think about. Now, every state has been going up between 6 and 8 to 14% a year. What do you think Hawaii is going to go up to next year? What do you think California is going to go up to next year? What do you think Texas is going to go up to next year? And again, even though we know people out there say there's no global warming, you better ask somebody. Phoenix, Texas, and about 19 cities have broken the heat index records that were set 30, 40, 50, and even 100 years ago in the last 20 days. And what's crazy is up northeast have had more water than they usually get in 3 years in 3 months. So if you don't believe in global warming, go ahead and buy your ticket with Elon, because here's the deal. ZenYGE can solve a lot of challenges by having our members talk about our products. And the only way we can be successful as a company is to talk about our products. And again, the only thing stopping you from reaching everything you want in life is, like I say, closed lips don't get fed. And all I can say is thank you so much for letting me present tonight. Either I'm going to see you at the top or we're going to see you from the top. So I'll turn it right back over to y'all, and thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you so much, Sir John Rustin and Miss Cynthia King. Oh, Lord, that was a full, great half hour of Zoom informational evening, afternoon, anywhere in the world today. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. I bid goodbye. We'll see you next week.